Welcome to the Celix video channel. In this video, we'll show you how to set up the Myrus Evo pump and the MultiFlow 8. First, we'll look at connecting the syringe to the Myrus Evo pump. Then we'll look at tubing for the pump. After that, we'll look at setting up the MultiFlow 8, then connecting the MultiFlow 8 to the Myrus Evo pump. We'll look at connecting a reservoir to the pump, before finally discussing power supply and communications. To start, we'll look at connecting the syringe to the Myrus Evo pump. First, make sure the pump is turned off. Next, connect your syringe to the drive valve and screw in the syringe. Bring the plunger down into the plunger lock screw and screw it in. Check to make sure that everything's tightened and fixed. Now, we'll look at setting up the tubing. We have 3 cables. The orange cable is the input cable. It connects the reservoir to the Myrus Evo pump. The blue cable connects the Myrus Evo pump to the pump manifold. And the green cable is the output of the manifold and connects to the MultiFlow 8, which we'll talk about soon. So, as an overview, the media flows from the reservoir through the orange cable to the Myrus Evo pump, then flows through the blue cable to the pump manifold, before finally flowing through the green cable and out to the MultiFlow 8. Now we'll look at setting up the MultiFlow 8. To do this, first, screw the 8 nozzles into the MultiFlow 8 by hand. Then, using an appropriate tool, secure the 8 nozzles by screwing them each in by a quarter turn. Then, with the 8-way tubing, plug in each tube to the corresponding number on the MultiFlow 8. This means you take the end tube of the 8-way cable and plug it into the nozzle labelled 1. Then, you take the next tube along and plug it into the nozzle labelled 2, and so on until all the tubes are connected. Now we'll connect the MultiFlow 8 to the Myrus Evo pump. Take the stopcock T-junction and screw it into the MultiFlow 8. This allows us to connect the output tube of the Myrus Evo to the MultiFlow 8, and also later allows us to add a syringe to the top junction for a quicker washout. To connect the Myrus Evo to the MultiFlow 8, plug the green cable into the side junction and screw it in. Now we can connect a reservoir to the Myrus Evo pump. To do this, simply insert the orange cable into the reservoir. To finish the setup, we'll look at power supply and communications. There are 3 connections on the Myrus Evo to think about: the power connection, the USB connection, and the connection to the MultiFlow 8. First, plug in the power cable, ensuring that the pins on the connectors line up. Next, plug in the USB connection. This will connect the Myrus Evo pump to your PC. Finally, to connect the MultiFlow 8, take the black-tipped end of the orange cable and slide it back, then hold it back before connecting it to the Myrus Evo. The other right angle end of the cable connects to the bottom of the MultiFlow 8. Making sure the pins line up, connect the cable and screw it in. So now you've set up your Myrus Evo pump and the MultiFlow 8, and you know how each piece works. But if you still have questions or want to learn more, check out our website at wearecelix.com or contact us using the info on screen or in the description below.